From LEX 18, your official UK sports station for Big Blue Nation, this is BBN Tonight. Presented by Central Bank, the official bank of UK Athletics.
Welcome to BBN Tonight. I'm Anna Tarullo.
And I'm Keith Farmer. Tonight, our exclusive coverage of Kentucky football's spring session continues with Mark Stoops, Vince Merrill, which you don't want to miss, and Chris Rodriguez.
And later, a chat about all things Cats with our friend Tom Leach. But come on, we have to start with some football. Our highlights from the weekend. That's tonight's Big Blue story presented by Baptist Health. Now, following his squad's 6th practice on Saturday, head coach Mark Stoops said the group is continuing to improve. We heard Stoops and offensive coordinator Liam Cohen talk about the excitement there is with how the offense has been performing so far. And this weekend, Stoops gave an update on how the quarterbacks have improved from week 1 to week 2.
They're getting better, and they are just like the rest of our team. And again, please bear with me with the coach speak, but it's the truth. I mean, we just got to get better. There's a lot thrown at them. It's a new system. As you put more in, there's a tendency to get a bit sloppy because you got to be able to carry over all the day 1, day 2 install and then get the new stuff and put it all together and formations and the way he dresses it up and does things. There's going to be some ups and some downs. Overall, I see growth. I see improvement, and that's what excites me.
Keith, it seems like Stoops is keeping his expectations in check here. This is the first time since 2018 Kentucky enters the season without knowing their starter at quarterback. So definitely a lot being thrown at these guys right now, not only competing for a spot, but under an entirely new offense. And only one of the quarterbacks on campus right now has started a game for UK. That's Joey Gatewood.
Yeah, but you know what? That gives me a lot of hope because I feel like they're pushing each other. You got 2 and eventually 3, maybe 4 guys that are going to really push each other for that starting spot. Yeah. And I think you also see the fact that I think 1 or 2 or 3 could probably be that guy.
For sure.
And that's okay.
It's great to have in your back pocket.
Yeah, you're going to be comfortable with him.
And another guy that we've talked a lot about this spring is returning running back Chris Rodriguez.
He sat down for an exclusive conversation with our Eli Gain.
The offense that you guys have now, you're almost about 2 weeks into it. How fun has it been just learning all of it and then going through all of it as well?
Yeah, so I mean, it's been real fun. I mean, obviously it takes time because we have to learn new stuff. Like it's not as easy as it was when we first got here. Like, we knew nothing coming into college. So it's like we're learning, but it's like we almost had to start over, basically. But I mean, overall it's been pretty fun. I mean, cool. It's like we're getting more passes out of the backfield and everything like that.
Do you like that? Because I mean, the last couple of years, you haven't really been like a receiver out of the backfield. What's that been like just to add another element to your game?
Yeah, so you say last few years, but I say my whole life. I've never been the guy to like go out, run out of the backfield, catch passes. Even in high school, middle school, I never really caught passes. In middle school, they had me at fullback, so I mean, it's different. But yeah, I mean, I've always felt like I was capable of catching out of the backfield. But I mean, again, it's not my choice or whatever. But I mean, now it's like it's time to start putting that in my game and focusing on that. So
Liam has obviously made it very clear that you're kind of a centerpiece to this offense. I know you look at the O-line, you look at it's a team thing, but you being kind of the focal point of an offense, he pointed you out 25 touches a game. What does that mean to you when you have an offensive coordinator that shows so much confidence in what you can do and your abilities?
Yeah, so that feels like, obviously it makes me feel good. Like I'm like, okay, well, in high school, I had 50 carries a game. So now it's like 25. I mean, it's at a different level, but even still to get that many carries or whatever he said, I mean, it makes me feel good. But like I was telling people the other day, it's more than one person in that room. Everybody in that room can do exactly what I can do.
I love that because you're staying humble about it. Like, you feel good about yourself, gives you some confidence, but also staying humble, knowing that you have other guys involved. Let's talk about the Big Blue Wall for a second. What they've meant to you just since you've been here and have helped you get to where you're at in, most yards per carry last year in the SEC, how they've sort of just paved the way for you.
Yeah, so those guys, man, I mean, if I could build those guys a house, I would. I mean, those guys, they mean a lot to me. They probably don't know, but they really mean a lot to me. What happened last year with Coach Schlarman, I mean, to see them push through that and keep fighting the way they've been fighting, it really meant a lot to not only me, but the rest of the team. And Yeah, those guys, man, I love those dudes. They believe in me. Like if they see it, well, they believe in all of us for real. If they see a back and they call a run play, they're like, all right, well, we know we're gonna go. We got to go hard. We got to make it happen. And I told them one game, I was like, I think it was the South Carolina game, and I was mad because I was on like Can's team, and I was like, yo, if we score right here, everybody's getting steak. They're like, all right. And then that's when I took it 78 yards or something like that. And then they was like, hey, where's my steak at? But I'm like, I got y'all one day, right? Not now, but it's coming.
One last thing I was going to ask you. So if you look back, all right, say, all right, you get out of here, you go to the NFL, you have a great career, 50, 60 years from now, you're retired, you know, if you were, and then someone wanted to make a movie about Chris Rodriguez and his path, his journey, who's going to be the guy in that film that plays you?
My nephew.
Your nephew?
Yes. My nephew, I say my nephew because, I mean, even though he's like 2 years old, he has that same build that I had, and he's just like me, like when I was younger. My mom always tells me, like, he reminds me so much of you and all this, and even though he's bad, I wasn't really bad when I was growing up, but he's kind of bad, so, I mean, but he's still young, so. Yeah. But yeah, I would have my nephew play it because he has that same build like when I was younger, and I see him being just like me.
I could not love that answer more. That was so cool.
We're going to have to confirm with his mom whether he was bad or not.
Exactly. All right, it was a big weekend for Kentucky baseball. For just the second time since 2008, the Cats swept an SEC opponent on the road, finishing off their 3-game series in Auburn in Saturday's doubleheader. The Cats never trailed during the series and improved to 5-1 in league play. That's their best start since 2017, and the Cats are back at home tomorrow night. Anna, I still say I love the thing about this team. They're winning games. They're finding ways to win games like they did on Friday night. It was a long rain delay. They were up 4 runs in the 9th inning, and they let Auburn come back and tie it up, and yet they still found a way to win that game. That's what these teams have to do if you're going to be a top-notch SEC team.
And we talked about this before, just SEC league play is so tough to be able to get in these wins now and build your confidence and your momentum.
Exactly.
Very important.
Coming up next on BBN Tonight, we return to football and the big dog.
Woo-woo! UK assistant Vince Merrill opens up about his excitement for 2021 when we return.